So, Mr. South, looks like Mr. Lebeda filed a restraining order against you. Basically, he wants you to leave him alone. As I stated earlier, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either agree or disagree. If you agree, I issue a restraining order. If you disagree, then I set a hearing. Which would you like to do?
I'd like to disagree and dismiss this altogether because it impinges on my constitutional rights of freedom of press.
I hear you, Mr. South. I don't have a problem if you file some sort of paperwork indicating why you believe it's infringement on your freedom of press. No problem with that. You can file whatever that is, but I'll just set it for a hearing and then we'll see what goes on. Okay?
In that, I would like to make sure that I am allowed to record at these public hearings and that it will not impinge on my ability to record at these public, not this hearing, sorry, the public USA meetings.
Let me see what it is that the court ordered. Looks like all the court ordered is that you not contact, threaten, or harass, you not telephone, visit Mr. Leveda's residence, including yard and garage or his place of employment. I don't see anything prohibiting your videoing of the matters. You just need to make sure that your videoing does not include contacting or anything else, no comments, none of those other things, because I don't see that that's being prohibited in the restraining order.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I wanted to make sure of.
Do you have any comment, Mr. Leveda?
Not at this time.
I'll let you know, sir. If you are unpleased with being videoed, you need to go and file a matter in circuit court, because I don't have the ability to do an injunction, which is basically an order telling people that they need to stop inserting proceedings. Let me ask you this, Mr. South. What's so great about Mr. Leveda that you feel I need to tell the world about him? This guy is amazing. He's a Hawaii's Donald Trump. I mean, what is it?
Nothing, Your Honor. I was actually recording the entire public hearing itself, the public meeting itself. And he was in the he was the doorman, and I was recording my way into the public meeting.
Okay. You have a problem with that, Mr. Leveda, or? Like I said, I mean, people have a right to have things publicized, you know what I mean, and get the news. People do not have the right to harass you. Go ahead, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, this is just an ongoing event where I've spoken my opinion that I do not want to be videotaped, that I don't want to be recorded, and for this to be published online. And I just feel like my privacy rights are being violated.
You know, I bet there's a lot of guys sort of like Dwayne Johnson, Johnny Depp, a lot of other people that get videotaped, photographed, and everything else that don't like it. Unfortunately, when you're in public, you're in public. If you're in private, totally different requirements and everything else. If you want to stop it, like I said, you need to file something somewhere else. My proceedings is not gonna stop it. So if you still wanna have the hearing, I don't have a problem with that, but it doesn't seem like I'm gonna be able to give you what you want. So, I mean, if you want the hearing, fine, I'm gonna give you a hearing date. If you wanna just dismiss it and then it proceeds in another fashion, you can do that also. Which would you like to do?
I'll take the hearing date.
Okay, so I'm signing an extension of the restraining order, so Mr. South, you need to make sure you comply with that. And then let's get a hearing date.
January 20, 9:30.
Come back on January 20, 2016, 9:30 in the morning for your hearing. If there's any witnesses or exhibits you want, make sure you bring them with you. Any exhibits, make 3 copies of them, and then that way it makes the hearing go a lot easier. You had a comment, Mr.?
Yeah, just one quick comment. At one of the previous USA meetings, the Dean of Students herself, Kelly Oakes, had stated that public meetings are allowed to be recorded, and that's honestly why I thought this was frivolous to begin with.
What can I tell you? You can file your motion. I'd be more than glad to entertain it. And the reason why I do it that way is you may file something, Mr. Lebeda may feel that what you did was beyond the portion of freedom of the press, and you may have overstepped that bound. I have no idea. I'm gonna hear it all out in the hearing, and then I'll make a ruling at that point. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Anything else from you, Mr. Lebeda?
Just in response to that comment, she told me that these meetings were not public, so that's why I am proceeding with this.
Which is fine, I have a difficult time finding meetings that are private, because, I mean, if a meeting was private, no one could go. So, I just have that, I'm having a hard time figuring that out. I don't know who's giving you advice or anything else, and that's perfectly fine, we can deal with it on that date. The bottom line is, when we come back for the hearing, you're gonna have to establish by clear and convincing evidence that there's a basis for me to issue a restraining order. So, I don't have a problem with that, we can figure it all out and then just go from there. But like I said, you may want to seek protection by some other fashion. I may not be the one that's gonna be able to help you. Okay, we'll see you on that next date. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Moving to our